Today I'm going to show you how you can use Reaper to make your audio quality 10 times better. So at the end of this video, I'm going to show you the difference that this can make to any mic. So I'm going to actually hook up my old Blue Snowball mic as well to show you how using these couple of settings, you can really improve your audio quality. So when I go into options, you won't be able to hear what I say because it's going to temporarily disable my microphone. But you're going to go into options, preferences, and then you're going to go into your ASIO, which is on the drop down bar. You'll be able to follow what I do anyway. I might add in a post voiceover. And then you click on ASIO, then you can use either ASIO for all, which is pretty good, or I have FL Studio, so that has FL Studio ASIO as well, and that's the one I use. Then you're just going to want to make sure you have your correct input selected, and you're going to want to use either VB audio cable, and I'll have a link in the description. It's just a one-click installer, and it'll give you an input and output device. At the moment, I'm using virtual audio cable, but you can use VB audio cable, so it'll give you a cable output and a cable input. So when you're into your preferences, you're going to want to select the mic as your input and the cable input as your output, and then that'll route the audio that comes out from your Reaper as a usable microphone device, so it'll perform the changes, and then with a couple of milliseconds delay, it'll output the cleaner and processed audio as a microphone source, so you can use it on Discord, Skype, live streams, and it'll just help a lot with making videos because you don't have to post-process your audio as much. When you're selecting the buffer size as well, I'd recommend either 512 or 1024. If you have a higher end system, you can go with 512, or even if you have a beastly computer, you can try 256. What the buffer size is just it gives it a buffer region, or it'll delay the output of the mic so that it actually can process the audio properly. So if you have the buffer size too short, as I had in a couple of my older videos, I'll put in a clip somewhere here
for the end of the clip, and in the start you want it to grab.
So as you can see, if you have the buffer size too low, it'll start cutting out the audio, and the more processing and background reduction and all that it needs to do, the bigger the buffer size you're going to need. So at the moment, 512 is working for me, but if I'm running a lot of things on my computer at the same time, I might need to up the buffer size to 1024 so that it can give it more time to process the audio. So then when you're done with that, you're going to want to come into the FX here. And this is where you see all your FX. So you want to make sure that's enabled before you start. You also want to have record monitoring on. Set it to on like that. And you'll also want record disabled for input monitoring only. And then you want to have the input stereo in 1, in 2. Then you're going to want to come up into your FX. And these are the ones I'm using. So to start, this is Reaper. It looks a bit messy at the moment, but that's because just so I can show you how it works, I've dropped the noise floor graph down to -150. It's usually at 90 around here, but it doesn't show you where it cuts out the audio. So what you do is you come up, and when you start, I'll add a new one. So when you open it, it'll look like this. What you want to do is go into points and set it to precise. I set this down to whatever buffer size I'm using. It's either 512 or 1024 I'd use. Sometimes I even use 1024, even if I'm using a 512 buffer size, just because it tends to get rid of the background noise a whole lot more. So you select that. And then instead of EQ, you come down to subtract. And then when subtract comes up, you'll have, I won't set it because it'll completely cut out my audio. But when I come up here, when you click on subtract, it'll have this option now, automatically build a noise profile. So what you want to do is you want to just stay quiet and click that button, give it a couple of seconds, and then when you unclick it again, it'll have captured all the room noise. So the any fans you have going on your computer on the background, any electric hum or anything in the room that the mic might pick up apart from your voice. It'll just negate those frequencies, and it'll just give you this little graph that will cut out all those frequencies. Next, what I suggest is there's the Re-EQ, which is another stock plugin, and there's the setting mud free. So if you ever hear a recording, and I have a couple of them, where it seems like the microphone is very muddy and non-detailed, it's because I believe it's the 325 to 350 hertz range is where the muddiness comes from. So they have the plugin mud free, or the setting mud free, but it only comes to about here, and this isn't as deep either. So what I did was I just dropped the second band a bit and dropped the third band a bit and just left the first and the fourth band alone. So it'll actually cut off a lot of the muddiness and the low end that a lot of mics have, especially a lot of the cheaper mics like the Blue Snowball, which you'll hear at the end of this video. I'll actually have all these effects, and I'll have it without all the effects turned on as well. So the next one I have is an exciter. So what this does is, from a certain frequency up, it'll boost the frequency, kind of like an EQ, but it's just a whole lot simpler, and you can actually choose what kind of percentage you mix into the track, so it kind of overlays kind of like a double track, and it gives it a little boost. So around 5.5 kilohertz is where the higher end, not the extreme high end, but the higher end of the vocal range is at 5.5. So if you boost it a small bit, it'll actually give your microphone a whole lot more clarity. And then I just have like a 2 decibel boost with like a 35-ish percent, 36% harmonics. And then the mix back is just on -6, just to I'll just set that back, just to bring it down a bit. As well as this, I have the auto expander. It's kind of like a noise gate, but I feel that there's a whole lot more customizability with the auto expander. So you can actually the good thing is you can actually see where the like mouse clicks and keyboard clicks will come in, and this is what I use to kind of get rid of those when I'm not speaking. When you're speaking, it'll still come true, but like I try and not click or type when I'm speaking, so it'll actually make it more effective. So as you can see there, I was actually typing on my mechanical keyboard, and it wasn't even coming to the -54 decibels. So I have mine set to just above -54. So even when I'm typing, if I'm not like bottoming out my keys, it won't register. And I just have the ratio about 3 to 4. 3 is usually good, but I just set it a bit higher so that it'll cut off all of it. And then the gain just left normal. For some reason, when I set my knee to soft, which means it'll slowly get rid of it, it kind of clips the mic and auto mutes it. So I just left it on hard. I just left it alone. And I left all these settings down here alone as well. So they're all the settings that I use to make the mic sound better. What you can also do is, if you don't have as high a quality mic as I only recently got, you can use the Re-EQ again, and they have the full vocals, which means it'll give it more of a fuller, warmer sound. So if you have like a very cheap microphone, sometimes they can be very tinny. So if you use full vocals, it'll actually boost the deeper range of your vocals. And you can also I'll disable it, and I'll show you what oh no, sorry, wrong one. Full. I'll show you what it looks like. So also at around this area is where the kind of deeper throaty area is. So if you want that to be boosted as well, you can just change it around and boost that area as well a small bit, kind of like that. So you don't want as high a boost in the 5.5 kilohertz up if it sounds very tinny. And around this area as well, you don't want to boost because that's where a lot of kind of like fan noises and stuff comes in as well. As you can see from here, that's where it starts to peak up in the fan noises. And this is the click from my mouse in this little area here. So you can do that if you have like a cheaper tinny mic, like a $10 headset or something. You can use that. So now in the next little portion of the video, I'm going to show you what the Blue Snowball sounds like after I have all these settings set and what it sounds like when they're off. So this is what the Blue Snowball sounds like when I have all the settings that I have tailored for the Blue Snowball microphone. And now I'm just going to disable all the settings so you can hear what it sounds like without any of the effects. So what you should notice straight away is that you're getting a lot of the fan noise, and the clarity also wouldn't be as high, but there's not much of a change between the bass sound of the Blue Snowball and the edited sound, which is another thing with the XLR mics. You can change the sounds a whole lot more, so I believe that they're actually a better starting point. You can get the Behringer Xenix 302 USB for like £30, and you can pick up like the newer NW800 as a starting point for £20. So for about £50 or like 55, 60 euro, you have a much more malleable and higher quality sound than just buying the Blue Snowball USB. But still, a lot of people are going to go for the Blue Snowball just because it's a whole lot easier to use and it's a whole lot more portable. Alright guys, so that was it for this video. If you liked it, give it a like. If you want to see more videos like this and some gaming videos, make sure to subscribe. Also make sure to hit the bell icon so that you get notified when I upload, because the uploads don't seem to hit sub boxes, so that should fix that. And if you want to see any videos like this and you want to suggest some, leave it in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.